Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Land and Home Show. This episode is all about Kentucky, land, and guns. Hey, I'm Stephen J.B. Davis, your land specialist and residential realtor here in Central Kentucky and beyond. And today we are focusing on guns, which may not seem like something that I would normally focus on, but there's a reason why. And it's not for any political reason, although I do enjoy firearms myself. I'm still working on my own journey in hunting. I did not grow up doing that, and so I'm an adult beginning hunter. But in any case, as far as my career and my job are concerned, the people that I help, like of the top 3 questions that I get, it's usually, can I shoot there? Is it okay to shoot guns? Will I be able to hunt on my own property? Because a lot of times people are looking to build a house, or there's a house already on it, but they still want to hunt their own land, whatever. And so I thought I would address this because it's just a question that I receive often. Even when people aren't my clients, they just are like, can you help me figure out if I can shoot on this land or not? And so that's why I am talking about Kentucky land and guns today. It's kind of complicated is the short answer. So if you want to turn off now, it's complicated, like the end. But let's dive in a little bit more. But before I do, this is one of my favorite guns. It's the only rifle that I own. I got it from one of my favorite clients. His name is Adam. Shout out to Adam. I'm gonna call him my gun realtor because he's excellent on like how many of this type of gun were made and who made it, and then like who died and whose son took over and started making it, and why is it less valuable or more valuable because of that, and all of these different things. He's my gun realtor. In the way that I help him with property, he helps me with guns, and is actually 100% responsible for how I found this one and ended up buying it. This is a Ruger Mark 77 II? Sorry, M77 Mark II. See, I'm not very good at that. I love it. I shoot great with it. I'm not good with the names. I'm not good with really most things in terms of nerding out on it, but it's a 270, and I hope to get my first deer with it this season. In any case, where guns in Kentucky are concerned, and buying property and being able to use guns in a recreational way, this is all about recreational use. Of course, there is the right to bear arms, and you can protect yourself. Kentucky is a castle state, actually, if you didn't know that. But as far as recreational use of guns on property, it is dictated a lot by county to county, even town to town. For instance, I live here in Fayette County. Fayette County and Lexington are one and the same as far as governmental power is concerned. However, we have something called an urban services boundary and then a rural services boundary. And that means a whole lot of things, but where guns are concerned, outside of the urban services boundary, otherwise called the rural services boundary, which is where I live, I can shoot how much ever I want. It's completely legal. It's fine. That's what the law says. However, I wouldn't. I mean, behind me is like a multi-billion-dollar horse operation situation, and so like there are literally horses that are born there that are worth more than a lot of the houses on the road that I live on. So no thank you. You gotta still be responsible. However, when you start to leave Lexington and you go to other counties, the rules are different. For instance, if you go to Mercer County, which has Harrodsburg as the county seat, they explicitly state in their planning and zoning that hunting is considered an agricultural activity. So to harvest an animal by way of hunting, or to protect whatever livestock you may have by killing another animal, such as coyotes, which is pretty much our main predator in this part of Kentucky. We see black bears sometimes, but it's really the coyotes that mess it up for everybody. But in any case, hunting is explicitly stated in the planning and zoning ordinance. So if you're outside of, not even outside of Harrodsburg, if you are in an agriculturally zoned property, you're allowed to use it to shoot, whether it's hunting or otherwise, if you just want to, target practice. And of course that changes because people vote on things and laws change. But as I know now, It's completely legal. And so when you're looking for property in Kentucky, especially central Kentucky, where I live and work and play, it's hard to find the answer sometimes. Of course, it's my job and I'm happy to do it, but you have to understand too that depending on what you're looking for, you're going to increase or decrease your chances by being able to achieve that goal of being able to use your gun in a recreational manner without getting into some sort of trouble, whatever trouble means. So the thing to consider, of course, would be how much land you're looking for. A lot of times, if you're looking for smaller acreage, such as 5 acres, 10 acres, 15 acres, what happens is the county or the city will annex those parts of the residency and say, you know, this is now residentially zoned, or we're going to move this down to agricultural 2 zone or something. And so what that will basically amount to is you'll lose some of these otherwise do whatever you want kind of regulations or lack thereof, because now you're around a bunch of other people and you're not just spread out sort of, I guess, in the middle of nowhere. So smaller acreage a lot of times means that you're going to be around others, and if you're around others, there's a great chance, not always, these are very broad strokes because we have 120 counties in this state, but there's a great chance on smaller acreage with a pre-existing home that you're probably not going to be able to do everything completely unrestricted as far as guns are concerned. Not always true, which is why you end up having to ask someone like me, who will then go find you the answer. Another situation that you often run into is if a property is within city limits, automatic, there's nuisance laws for noise, no firecrackers, certainly no guns, nothing loud. But then if you are in a county and maybe you still have a, let's call it I'm trying to think of a city, a Manchester address, I don't know, I'm just saying Manchester out of nowhere, but you're in the part of Manchester that's really actually unincorporated. A lot of times in counties like that, the unincorporated areas are kind of more, sometimes they have no zoning. I have a property pending right now that has a city address, of course, because every place in the United States generally has some sort of city that it belongs to, but it literally has no zoning. It's not agriculturally zoned, it's not industrially zoned, it's not residentially zoned, it just doesn't have a zone. So you can do whatever you want, by and large. I mean, you can't go around spreading like nuclear material everywhere and poisoning people, but as far as guns are concerned, or building a house, or building 3 houses, or building a work shed that you want to go to and escape from and participate in whatever your woodworking hobby is, you can do whatever you want when it's not zoned. And that has a lot to do with the fact that that particular city, Mount Vernon, is what I'm thinking of. It's not incorporated. I'm not sure if they have a mayor. I'm not even sure how that works, but it's a non-incorporated city. So there's no zoning. And that is oftentimes what you will find with other unincorporated communities, is they don't have strict guidelines around noise and things that you can and can't do. Again, this is not always the case. It's why you have to ask the right questions and ask the right people, hint, hint. But you can certainly get a lot of those answers by calling the right people, the right governmental powers, to ensure that what you're buying is substantial meets the mark for what you want to do with it. So yeah, Kentucky land and guns can be kind of a whirlwind. But you just have to work with the right kind of agent that can find the answers that you need, and you have to be aware of, I guess, what it is you're looking for and how that may increase or decrease your chances. If you're buying 300 acres somewhere, chances are, it's not going to be in the middle of a big urban city, which means you've probably got a better chance. If you're looking for that smaller acreage, again, you're talking about potentially living near lots of other people, in which the zoning may have changed in such a way that, just shooting guns recreationally or for sport is just not going to be allowed. So it's all about zoning, otherwise known as police power. It's also about unincorporated versus incorporated, and then these things called rural services boundaries and urban services boundaries. And many counties in Kentucky have all three of these things at hand. You've got the zoning piece, you've got the urban and rural services boundary, and then you've got incorporated and unincorporated parts of the county. And so that's what makes it complicated. So off the bat, when someone's like, can I shoot on this land? Unless I've been there recently and have read through these documents, I usually don't just know off my head, but I can figure that out. And sometimes it just takes time too, because, it's the government. Quick to take your money, slow to give it back or to give you any answers. But I digress. So that's Kentucky Guns and Land. That's all I've got for you today. Hopefully that just helps, at least with your expectations. Obviously, I can't answer about every single city and every single county, but hopefully you got a good idea about how to think about it if shooting on your property for sport is something that you are interested in doing. Until next time, I will see you later. Thanks for watching. Hey, thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. See you next time.